rain occurs due to La Nina effect. So now let's see what is El Nino and La Nina effect.
Now you see, during normal conditions, the trade winds move from east to west, and the trade winds after some years it weakens and reduces the cold water towards the east of South Africa. During that time, the dry and warmer regions are near the India. So in India, the dry and warmer ocean currents evaporate and they form the clouds, and due to heavy clouds it rains in the southern Indian part. This is El Nino and La Nina effect. Due to El Nino and La Nina effect, the rains and droughts are occurring in southern India. During this rains, the landslides occurs in the southern part of India.
This is a miniature demonstration of Wayanad landslide. So these are the houses and there are no plants here as you see. So if plants are planted in these areas, we can avoid soil erosion. So in case there is no plants here, land erosion occurred and then a big landslide and a natural calamity occurred in Wayanad. So this is a miniature demonstration of that Wayanad landslide. So now let's see how it happened and what are the factors of it.
This is salinity and pH level indicator, and this is the total dissolvable salt indicator, which gets data about the soil and gives information to the farmer, and this sends information to the mobile of the farmer. And this is pH level indicator. Through this we can find the acidity and basicity level of the soil. Thank you.
So we need to prevent soil erosion. So if we need to prevent soil erosion, we need to plant more plants and trees. So to plant it, we need to check the salinity and then the pH level of water, so that we have found that the plant's root and then the soil forms a strong bond between them both. So how it is formed? So we are going to see that.
So actually what we have done is that we have made a scientific study of the roots of the plants, we can see here, and we have found that plants release organometallic complexes which we have recreated artificially here, you can see, which are like aluminum citrate, ferrocene and etc. Now what our idea is that we are going to inject these organometallic complexes in the river beds so that we can prevent soil erosion. Thank you.
So now we have found which one will create a strong bond between the roots of the plant and then the soil. So now let's see how it is getting injected to all the soil and then other areas where plants need to be very strong and need to be planted. So now this is a rover which will inject the acids in soil and then other areas where the acid is needed.
This is a smart agriculture based system with control with the IoT. It will check the moisture level of the soil. If the moisture content is more, it will send the messages through rover, and rover will implant the chemicals in the required area. The chemical name is organometallic complex, which will make the roots tight and it prevents landslide.
As we learned from the IoT project, it is a main source of information to the rover, where the rover is made up of a Bluetooth board. The main reason of installing a Bluetooth board is anyone can access this through phone. It consists of two syringes which is filled with the compound which is synthesis there, where it is injected in the river benches, which in order to remove the river land breakage.
This project name is aquaponics. The water present in the plants will release CO2 in the water, and that will dissolve into the tank where fishes are, and the water from the fish used as the fertilizer and thicken the plants to the soil, so it will hold the soil and the flood will be controlled.
Now we have seen how to prevent soil erosion, and now we are going to see how we predict it and how we predict other natural calamities like rain, etc.
Greetings, this is Suhail of class 11A. So, as we all know, before rains, 2 hours ago, all the birds actually migrates. The reason being that when the rain arrives, there will be an infrasonic sound emitting, and these birds can sense this. So, we conducted a small experiment in Usteri Lake where we caught 20 mynas and we installed a GPS trackers in the legs. So, whenever it rains, we see that every bird has its own migration pattern. With this, we concluded that the birds can accurately predict the rain and other weather conditions. So with this, I have built a weather station which consists of an infrasonic sensor. So whenever the infrasonic sensor receives infrasonic waves, we can actually predict the weather exactly and accurately. Thank you.
Now we have seen how birds react to vibration and how they migrate. Now we will see about fishes, how they react to the vibrations and migrate. So now we can imagine that this fish is in a water body. Now it is in a tank which filled with water. So whenever a natural calamity occurs and it gives this effect in water, it will create a low pressure area in water, so that what fishes do is that they wanted to move away from the low pressure area to the high pressure area, so they migrate from the low pressure area. So that with the movement of these fishes, we can also judge that a natural calamity is about to occur. So now we can see how spider reacts to natural calamities. So spider creates different types of webs which indicates that a natural calamity is going to happen. So this is how spider reacts to the natural calamities vibrations. We all know that the normal audible range of humans is 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. So below 20 we cannot hear it, but animals like fishes, birds and spider can sense them, and then they can react, so that we judge the natural calamity by the migration of birds, fishes and the different creating webs of spiders.
I am Logachandra. I am Balakrishnan. We both are from class 11A. We have created a weather station called Arduino Weather Station. We have created a weather station which detects the wind speed, temperature and humidity, and the coordinates where the landslide will occur. First, the IR sensor will detect the wind speed where the LED display receives the information and shows the viewers that what is the wind speed in the particular place. And this DH311 sensor detects the temperature and humidity, and this MPU 6050 sensor detects where the landslide will occur. It detects the coordinates of the place where the landslide will occur. Now my friend Balakrishnan will explain what is the uses of this sensor.
So using this information, we can detect the accurate location where the landslide will happen, and we can inject the acid by the rover. So the main reason for injecting acid is to hold the soil firmly, and this prevents the landslides. Thank you.
So this type of local weather station need to be set up in many areas. And in Wayanad especially, the landslide occurred because the weather station was in the place which is 200 kilometers far away, so that the weather changes according to the areas, and the weather conditions also changes according to the weather areas, and many factors affect the weather conditions. So it need to be set up in the local areas also. So this is also a very low cost and low price weather station, and this need to be set up in many local areas. So now we have set up the local weather station everywhere. So these messages are collected and then they are stored in computers and then they are transported all over the world. So a small example which people can understand easily is WhatsApp. So this WhatsApp, we have two members, that is sender and receiver. So now in these days we send a message in the place of the sender to a receiver. So the receiver receives the message in a fraction of a second. So this step involves 7 steps. So these 7 steps are always performed to transport a message from a sender to receiver. So this is a small example of how the message is transmitted and transported all over the world. So now we have seen how the data is transported everywhere. So now this data to particular persons, how it is transported. Let's see that. So this is a system of hierarchy topology and this is a system of star topology. So now these are the two topologies, and first we will see the star topology, which is most commonly seen in many households. So now this is a box or network, you can consider it as anything. So from this the internet is transported everywhere. So we can assume this is a BSNL network. So this BSNL network is transported to the router. Sorry, this is the rover or router. So now after the internet connection passed to the router will pass it to the 5 gadgets. It will be like any gadgets like computer, tablets, phone, etc. So these internet connection will be transported to other gadgets, electronic gadgets we use in the house. So this is how the technology or the messages are transported through internet in star topology. So now let's see what is hierarchy topology. So in this topology we include a small thing, that is the server. There are 2 servers here. So this is the major network providing box. So from this the network is transmitted to the server. So from this server it is transported to the router, and from this router it will be transported to the other gadgets. So it applies to these things also. So this is how the data and the information through internet connection, it is transported everywhere in an household. So it has more advantage than this star topology, because here if this is damaged, this rover is damaged, and if it stops working, this will work and it will not affect it. So this is a major advantage in this hierarchy topology. Now we have seen how the data is transmitted to everyone and how messages are received by people. So now after every natural calamities, like after a heavy rain, there will be definitely a disease. So how that disease is caused and why, we will see about it. So the stagnated water is taken for the prawn breeding. So now let's see what is about that. If we have implemented this technology, we would have saved many people's life, and then we would also prevent the landslide, which would not happen if we have implemented this Adams technology. So I think so if now upcoming government implement this, we would have get more advantages. Thank you.